Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Juan. This is Michael. I am the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to go through your essay right now. You've paid to have the additional service of having me error correct your entire essay. And I also want to show you some restructuring things that can help, I think, this particular essay score higher. Now, as you see it, you're looking at about 3.0 out of 5 or 20 points out of 30. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take what you have and then move it up into the 30 out of 30 or 5.5 out of 5. That's what we want to do right now. Starting with the first paragraph, I'm going to make a change. Dancing has been present in human society since its beginning. Here, instead of a long time, we don't say that. We say throughout time. So there have been many different types of dances which also have different purposes. And I'm going to rewrite this so it's a little bit more direct. So many different types of dancing and because throughout time we have to use present perfect, have had different purposes. Some dances are performed as, I'm going to say plural rituals, so you have dances and rituals the same. Now here we have to put a semicolon here. You can't join two independent clauses together with a comma, so we'll put a semicolon, say meanwhile. I'm going to say others are performed you might say for exercise, or maybe entertainment. However, not mattering if the dance has a, we want to say, specific utility. I don't know utility. I'm going to say reason there. I don't think that's the right word, though. That's a word choice issue. So we'll say, not mattering if the dance has a specific reason, or if it is just maybe for entertainment. I'm going to put the, well, I guess because you're introducing it for the first time in this sentence, so then you say it is. I'm going to change this to say it has, be a little less wordy, cultural I'm going to say it has cultural significance because dancing is a form of individual expression and because it is an element, I'm going to say for understanding a particular culture. I don't think you have to worry about the word itself there. Okay, so let's look at the paragraph one more time. Dancing has been present in human society since its beginning. Throughout time, many different types of dancing, I'm going to say dances here, specific, have had different purposes. Some dances are performed as rituals, meanwhile others are performed for exercise or maybe for entertainment. However, not mattering if the dance has a specific reason or if it is just for entertainment, it has cultural significance because dancing is a form of individual expression and because it is an element for understanding a particular culture. So there's your thesis. Now we've established, Juan, you actually have a pretty good thesis. You have a 2-point thesis. Now the only possible problem here is, let me do a word count quickly here. Yeah, see, you're at 260 words, and of course, I didn't help you at all by making your first paragraph a little more concise than it was. But you want to get closer to 350 words. You see what I'm saying? So we need to develop some of your ideas a little more than what you have. Now let's get to your next paragraph. You say, first of all, as dancing is directly related to music, it is an effective form of it to express feelings and thoughts and even to distinguish different cultural expressions and people of different ages. You have whom coexist in the same space. Now, a little too wordy here. I'm going to say directly related, usually related to. There's different ways. I could say dancing, which is directly related to music, but this is kind of an unusual way to use this grammar, and you're showing the IBT human raters that you have some advanced type sentence styles. So directly related to music, dance is an effective form. This is a little bit wordy. How about effectively? Dancing effectively expresses feelings. Feelings and thoughts is the same thing. Expresses feelings. I'm going to say and even distinguishes different cultural expressions from different age people. So you have a tendency to be a little bit too wordy here. You want to be much more concise. Now you need details, don't get me wrong. We got to make this paragraph a lot fatter than it is, of course. But we do it through adding important details that help support the generalizations in the paragraph. So I think we have it. People who coexist in the same space. For example, you might say, for example, in my city, a big, probably large is better here, a large Cuban community, or if you said this, there is a large Cuban community. I'm going to say here, to get your grammar a little bit better, whose inhabitants use dance dances such as the salsa and the merengue, to express, you might say, love, respect, and commitment. You might say something like this. How about this? What if we say the salsa, the merengue, and the waltz to express love, respect, and commitment. Okay, now you see what I did here is you have your topic sentence there, but now I have a leading sentence which is going to force me to now give examples of the three dances as it relate to love, respect, and commitment, right? You might say, in the case of the salsa, you might say, two teenagers dance in an effort to show their love and passion toward each other. Their hips something like this. In the case of the salsa, two teenagers, often moving their hips, legs, and arms in unison, dance in an effort to show their love and passion toward each other. So we go to the next one. Furthermore, so it's here, furthermore, a child, and I apologize for my terrible typing skills, a child may dance, we might say, the merengue with an older adult in order to show respect. Hence, strengthening the relationship And you might say, lastly, I'm going to say elderly. Use the word older. Old people, that has a more negative tone. So two elderly, or you might say an elderly couple who dances the waltz, able to show, demonstrate the commitment maybe they have toward each other, which results from decades of a loyal marriage, maybe something like that. Okay, now we're getting there. Do you see what we're doing? We're putting in information that's needed to help really defend these. You said is your topic statement to effectively express feelings, and even distinguishes different cultural expressions from different age people who coexist in the same space. I don't think you need a comma there. For example, in my city, there is a large Cuban community whose inhabitants don't need that, use dances such as the salsa, the merengue, and the waltz to express love, respect, and commitment. Notice I mentioned in exactly the same order as I forecasted them in that sentence. I give the example of the salsa as it relates to love. I give the example of the merengue as it relates to respect, and I give the example of the waltz as it relates to commitment. Okay, let's keep going, Juan. I'm getting to the next paragraph now. And let me take a quick word count to see where we are, because we don't want to overdo it either. Okay, so just for a second here, I'm going to see how many words we have so far. That gives me an idea how many more details we need to add here. So if I go to the word count, we're at 318. You see what I'm talking about? Now we're getting closer. We're getting much closer to the 350 word count. Now I'm not saying don't, after watching this video, tell everybody that I'm saying that you have to write 350 words exactly. I'm not saying that exactly, but you want to make sure that you can develop your topics, your ideas, the argument you're making. You want to give examples to help illustrate those ideas. And because you only have two reasons, I mean, you need to do a little more in the examples you're using, and that makes your argument much stronger. And of course, your score on the TOEFL IBT gets higher, which is what you want, am I right? Okay, let's go to your next paragraph. You say, second of all, the different kinds of dances are used by the media for a diffusion of the culture. Some of them are better known by their dances, which are oftenly performed. And the word diffuse, that's not the right word that you want to use here. So you're saying understanding, I think, is better. So second of all, you can just say different kinds of dances are used by the media maybe. Do you want to say that to help outsiders understand the culture? You say some of them are better known by their dances. Here, you can't, again, be careful of your sentence structure. You definitely do not want to use, don't combine different sentences together with a comma. That's not going to work very well. So you have different kinds of dances are used by the media to help outsiders understand the culture. Some of them are better known by their dances, which are often performed with special garments and customs. You're using Spanish, especial. No, it's special. In English, we typically don't put the E before the SP combination. Now, I know in Spanish, you don't have that possibility, right? So you're not used to the consonant cluster S and P without the E. So that's going to cause you a little bit of trouble. I might rewrite this first sentence. Hold on a minute. I think you may start off with this. The media may televise or otherwise broadcast different kinds of dances. Let's put this in the beginning here. Check this out. You got to really watch what I'm doing here. It's getting crazy. It's getting better. So to help outsiders understand the culture, we'll put the infinitive of purpose in the beginning. To help other outsiders understand the culture, the media may televise or write about different kinds of dances. To help outsiders understand, maybe do this. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute here. Now we got it. Check this out. You're trying to elevate your grammar. Your grammar is a little bit simple. I think we got it. We still have to work on it a little bit. So you have to help outsiders understand, the media may televise or write about different kinds of dances from various cultures, some of which are better known by their dances. You might say, oftenly performed with special garments and customs. For example, Telemundo. A Spanish-speaking television station in the United States has often you might say often recorded variations of this, the voladores de Pampatla. You might say here, hence making it worldwide famous. It is a dangerous dance performed, I'm going to say here, on the top of a 10-meter high jump. You want to say it is a dangerous dance performed on the top of a 10-meter high jump where the dances, you want to say dancers, fly around the post I think this is what's called a misplaced modifier. We need to put this close to the dancers, right? So we're going to cut that. I'm going to say where the dancers tied only by their ankles fly around the post. Now the question here is, though, we got to go back to your thesis. See, this is where your development comes in more than what you're doing. The question is, what can we learn from the culture by this particular dance? That's really the $64,000 question, something that you haven't answered, but you should answer, and that's going to help support or make your argument a little bit better. So if you go back to your thesis, we say it is an element for understanding a particular culture. Then you might say, spectators who watch this dramatic and dangerous dance begin to appreciate some of the hardships people have had to endure culture. I don't know. I'm just kind of making this up here, but the main thing is you have to explain something. I'm not exactly sure what you can learn from this particular dance, but that's where you come in, right? Okay, so you say something like, the spectators who watch this dramatic and dangerous dance, and this is too wordy even, appreciate, you might say, some of the hardships that Mexican people have had to endure as a culture. And you might say, for example, under Spanish rule, and even under previous governments of the past, Mexican citizens have sometimes felt oppressed. And these feelings can be expressed through this dance. Now I think we're getting it. Now let's go back and take another word count. How close are we getting here? 383. We got it, my friend. We did it. Okay, now we're getting ready to take a look at the conclusion. Okay, now what I want to do is, though, I want to read it one more time and let's catch a few errors. Let me do a spell check quickly because my spelling is terrible. And if you're not sure why, it's because I learned Spanish. Spanish is perfect. I mean, it's so easy to learn to spell in Spanish, and then when I went back to writing back in English again, it's like, uh-oh, I had a lot of trouble. It looks like the word expression, I'm going to change merengue, teenagers, relationship. Yeah, oftenly is not, you don't need an ly on often, that's already an adverb. Under I misspelled, so let's change that. Therefore I misspelled. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the first paragraph. So, dancing has been present in human society since its beginning. Throughout time, many types of dances have had different purposes. Some dances are performed as rituals, meanwhile others are performed for exercise or for entertainment. However, not mattering if the dance has a specific reason or if it is just for entertainment, it has cultural significance because dancing is a form of individual expression and because it is an element for understanding a particular culture. First of all, directly related to music,
Dancing effectively expresses feelings and even distinguishes different cultural expressions from different age people who coexist in the same space. For example, in my city, there is a large Cuban community whose inhabitants use dances such as the salsa, the merengue, and the waltz to express love, respect, and commitment. In the case of the salsa, two teenagers, often moving their hips, legs, and arms in unison, dance in an effort to show their love and passion toward each other. Furthermore, a child may dance the merengue with an older adult in order to show respect, hence strengthening their relationship. Lastly, an elderly couple who dances the waltz are able to demonstrate the commitment they have toward each other, which results from decades of a loyal marriage. Second of all, to help outsiders understand, the media may televise or write about different kinds of dances from various cultures, some of which are better known by their dances, often performed with special garments and customs. For example, Telemundo, a Spanish-speaking television station in the United States, has often recorded variations of the Voladores de Papanatla, hence making it worldwide famous. I'm going to just say world famous, or making it famous worldwide. I think worldwide is an adverb, and world you can use before, in this case, making it world famous. It is a dangerous dance performed on the top of a 10-meter high jump, where the dancers, tied only by their ankles, fly around the post. The spectators, excuse me, who watch this dramatic and dangerous dance appreciate some of the hardships that Mexican people have had to endure as a culture. For example, under Spanish rule and even under previous governments of the past, many Mexican citizens have sometimes felt oppressed and these feelings can be expressed through the dance. Therefore, because dancing is an important way of expression and is a good form to disclose the habits of a community, it plays an important role in a culture. Now, the main thing is we got to go back to your topics, make sure everything's connecting. So, the expression thing is a good way for the media to disclose the habits of a community. Good word, by the way. It plays an important role in a culture. So there we go. So I've taken your particular essay, and I think the conclusion I made really hardly any changes in there at all. Now the main thing is, if we take our final word count, I think we're where we need to be. So we don't have to worry about making the paragraph really, really long and the conclusion really long. No, we're at 387 words a minute, and that is just perfect. So the main thing is, when we take a look at it, we have our thesis here. You have a good thesis. You already had that. You have a good sense of organization, but you simply need to develop your ideas a little bit more, and you want to work on eliminating some of those problems with word choice, sentence structure, punctuation, some of those kinds of things, right? So we have our topic sentences, and I added details in there to help expand some of your ideas. And the other strategy, what you could have done is, instead of giving 2 reasons why dance is important, you could have given 3. And then you wouldn't have to worry about your paragraphs being so developed like I did. Okay? So I think we got it. So let me read it one more time with you, and then we will conclude this particular tutorial session. So dancing has been present in human society since its beginning. Throughout time, many types of dances have had different purposes. Some dances are performed as rituals, meanwhile others are performed for exercise or for entertainment. However, not mattering if the dance has a specific reason or if it is just for entertainment, it has cultural significance because dancing is a form of individual expression and because it is an element for understanding a particular culture. First of all, directly related to music, dancing effectively expresses feelings and even distinguishes different cultural expressions from different age people who coexist in the same space. For example, in my city, there is a large Cuban community whose inhabitants use dance such as the salsa, the merengue, and the waltz to express love, respect, and commitment. In the case of the salsa, two teenagers, often moving their hips, legs, and arms in unison, dance in an effort to show their love and passion toward each other. Furthermore, a child may dance the merengue with an older adult in order to show respect, hence strengthening their relationship. Lastly, an elderly couple who dances the waltz are able to demonstrate the commitment they have toward each other, which results from decades of a loyal marriage. Second of all, to help outsiders understand, the media may televise or write about different kinds of dances from various cultures, some of which are better known by their dances, often performed with special garments and customs. For example, Telemundo, a Spanish-speaking television station in the United States, has often recorded variations of the Voladores de Pampatla, hence making it world famous. It is a dangerous dance performed on the top of a 10-meter high jump where the dancers, tied only by their ankles, fly around the post. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and separate this by commas here. I think we're looking at what's called a non-restrictive element here. We kind of know who the dancers are without this information. That's why I'm doing that. The spectators who watch this dramatic and dangerous dance appreciate some of the hardships that Mexican people have had to endure as a culture. For example, under Spanish rule and even under previous governments of the past, many Mexican citizens have sometimes felt oppressed, and these feelings can be expressed through the dance. Therefore, dancing is an important way of expression, because dancing is an important way of expression, and you can omit it the second time, and because it is a good way for the media to disclose the habits of a community, it plays an important role in the culture. There we go. All right, thank you for submitting your independent practice test 2. I hope by seeing this particular revision, you have a pretty good idea of some of the things that you want to do in your next essay. The key here is be careful of your sentence structure, your word choice, and really make sure that you fully develop your ideas and try to go toward writing at least 350 words on this type of writing assignment. All right, thanks.